Hello there, I'm Chef Johnny, and this is Texas Style Barbecue and Cuisine. Appreciate you stopping by. Now, I'll tell you what, you can see I'm over at the wood burning oven. Today, we're going to be using it. I've had so many requests of people saying, Chef, when are you going to use that pizza oven? When are you going to use that pizza oven? Well, today, we're going to use the oven. And I'm calling it a wood burning oven because it's so much more than a pizza oven. I've cooked hamburger buns in it, other breads in it, braised some briskets in it, and browned them off in the grill, put them in here in cast iron skillets and braised them and cooked them down, made some fantastic dishes like that. So there's a lot you can do with this wood burning oven. And today I'm going to show you how to sear off some fantastic filet mignons that I got in from Matador Prime Steaks. So stick around and let me show you how we cook those in the wood burning oven. I'm going to open this oven up, let you see inside of it, and bear with us today. We're going to try to do everything in the oven. If I can't get the camera shots I want to on searing these off, then I may pull them out and put them on a portable stove and sear them out here and then finish them off in the wood burning oven. But I'm going to try to show you how to do it actually in the oven. It's not bad when I'm not trying to stick a camera in here with me, but today we got a camera in here also. So let's open it up and take a look inside. Here's this oven on the inside, and y'all can see I've got a great mesquite fire going in there, a lot of coals. My skillet is off to the left. I got a large 16-inch skillet in there that I use to cook in, and that's what we're going to sear those steaks in, is that hot cast iron skillet. But this thing's getting up. It's about 300 degrees right now. We're gonna let it keep getting hotter, and once it gets up to that 350, 400, we get the steaks in it. But also I'm gonna push the fire back a little bit, and I'm going to get some coals in the front to sit this skillet on so that we can get it good and hot to sear those filet mignons with. So let's let the fire keep going. I'll get over and show you how we're going to season up those steaks. These are some lovely fillets. And I think the big knock on fillets is lack of fat, lack of flavor. Because we always say fat's flavor, right? So very often a fillet is not mentioned as a flavorful steak. It's a very tender steak. But it is not a lot of times just packed with flavor. That's why you see them wrapped with bacon and things like that, is to add flavor to them. Or very often you see them served with a sauce. Well, I tell you what, I'm here to tell you, and we'll get some close-ups on this where y'all can really see these nice little fillets. Now these are prime, and they do have some nice marble in them, which, like I said, very often is absent from a lot of the fillets you get. So these are not the fillets that you run down at H-E-B and buy. I'll tell you that right now. These are excellent, very nice, top-notch, shipped to your door, great, great fillets. The reason I got these steaks is this is what my wife wanted. She remembers as a young girl growing up, her dad coming home with bacon-wrapped fillets. And so she wanted to get some filet mignons and have them that way. Now, they don't come with bacon on them, but I have some nice hardwood smoked bacon that we're going to wrap around them. And I think one mistake people make is when we season these, and I'm just going to pretty much season with salt and pepper. I've got a nice sea salt and a kind of a coarse ground pepper. Is they put the bacon on and season the top and the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start seasoning these, but I'm going to season all the way around the sides, the tops, and the bottoms. Then I will add my bacon. So good little amount of pepper. I like a nice peppery steak. Get our pepper on. Now our sea salt, good amount of, and if you don't want to use sea salt, kosher salt, I use that also sometimes, but this is kind of what I had in the house, so this is what I grabbed. So we've got a good amount of sea salt going on. We're going to turn these over. Do the other side just the same. And I'm just going to season up the sides like I was telling you. If you wanted to, you could probably roll them around your board, right? Pick up some that's fallen off. Beautiful little steaks that got that done. Let's get our bacon on it. And one thing I did was I've made my own steak pins, bacon pins. A lot of times you'll see these and they have a big ring on the end. Well, if you're searing and you want to sear your bacon as you sear it all the way around the outside, if that's got that circle on it, like a lot of these do, you can't put that side down. The other thing is you get some of them that are like nickel size. Well, those prevent any of that from being seared. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take my bacon and we're gonna wrap it around this filet. This is gonna add a lot of great flavor to our filet. As y'all can see, one piece of bacon is gonna go more than all the way around. And this is a nice thick cut bacon. If you wanted to, you could go 2 pieces, but I'm gonna take my little skewer here, poke it in, and see it lays flat. So that works great. There's my first filet ready to go. Let's get our second one. And I kind of shape these with my hand. I would really like them to be as round as they can, not be real pointed, but if you look, that one's looking pretty good. So we're gonna drop a pin in it. 2 done. I'm gonna season the bacon a little bit, so forgot to do that, so let's get that done. A little salt here on the outside edge of the bacon, a little pepper, the skillet is preheated, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to sit it right on those coals. That way I can get the bottom of that skillet nice hot. And what I use is here, as you can see, I've got an infrared thermometer. So that's why I check when I'm doing pizzas and I'm cooking them straight on the bottom. I can hit that and tell me how hot it is. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add just some grapeseed oil. Grapeseed's a nice high heat oil. Coat the bottom of that pan with it well. That's looking pretty good. Let's check the temperature again. Oh yeah, 426. That's ready to go. Let's get our filet mignons in there. Ooh, let's have pretty sizzle. And we're gonna let these go for about 2 minutes. Now I tell you, these have been going for 2 minutes. We're gonna pick them up. You can see how it turned loose. I got a beautiful sear on those. And I'm sitting them down in a new spot. I don't know if you noticed that, but they're not going back down in the exact spot they were in. So, 2 minutes on that side, then we'll start browning up the sides. Those are looking beautiful, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop in about 3 cloves of garlic into this grapeseed oil. And I have got a few sprigs of fresh rosemary. We're going to put in there also. On top of that, I'm going to start dropping in some butter. This is going to add just another degree of flavor to these steaks we're cooking up. You can tell that pan's heating up again. It had cooled off just a little bit, but when you're working with a live fire, things cook a little different. We'll let that butter melt up in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tip my pan this way a little bit. I'm going to scoop up some of this butter, this rosemary, and this garlic that's in there, and I'm just going to put them right across the top. Anyways, we got the grapeseed oil, the butter now, and the garlic, and that fresh rosemary. And it is just going to season these up very nicely. All right, butter up on top. You know, and excuse me for the tight quarters and the light, but that's just the way it is working inside of this wood burning stove. But take a look at the bottom side, see if we got a sear on these that we like. Oh yeah, those started searing up nicely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to kind of turn these up on edge. Everybody likes their bacon kind of crispy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to just set these fillets right up on their side, and we'll go about 60 seconds per side, and then we'll turn them. Boy, you hear that sizzle. That skillet is hot. That bacon hits it and it's cooking it up good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my pan out of the way. I'm going to take my hoe and I'm going to push my charcoals to the back because I don't want this high heat anymore. The skillet's got enough heat in it. Now, I'm going to let this go for about 10 minutes. We're going to get them up to about 145 for my wife, and maybe pull one out a little bit earlier for me, but they're looking good. So let's close it up, and we're going to let them cook. All right, here we go. Let's get these out of the skillet. We're going to set them on our cutting board. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these sit here for about 5-10 minutes, let them cool down a little bit, let the juices gather back so they're not run out when we cut them. But once they're cool enough, we're going to slice into them. These are probably going to be a medium to medium well. That's right where my wife likes them. These were for her, remind her of home and her daddy. So that's what we did today. But we're going to let these sit for a little bit, then we'll slice one of them up, let you see how they turned out. Everybody say hi to Libby. She's here today. And again, these were for her. So we're going to slice one of these and see how she likes it. She likes a steak done more than I do. So we're going to get up close and let her look at it. We've got one of these pretty fillets, and you can tell here that bacon did crisp up some by us searing it on the sides, but I'm just going to slice some of this off. And again, we're going for a medium to medium well. That's what she likes. I'm going to let her try it. So these are getting a little closer to medium well. But how's it taste, dear?
Good, really good.
All right, we're going to try this. I got a little piece of the bacon with mine. Quite tender, ain't it?
Yeah, it's good.
That rosemary was good in there, the garlic, the salt, the pepper, and of course, you know, the bacon. And we basted that inside of that oven with that. I think that came out tremendous.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah, we just heard Charlie come up. So where you at, buddy? He deserves some filet mignon. Got to take care of Charlie, right? Here's a piece of filet mignon. You like it? And for Riley. Riley's our old dog. She just came out of the swimming pool. She cooled off out there. Dogs approve of it. We approve of it. It's a pretty good filet mignon. Hope you enjoyed this filet mignon we did in the wood oven. Stay tuned, see what's coming up with us on Texas Style Barbecue and Cuisine, and we're going to see y'all down the road.
How them boys put food away beats all I've ever seen.